Denne reporting at Weasel News. A first topic of the day is a group of students protesting about the First Amendment being violent. Now our reporter Sam in the field.
Good morning, I'm reporter Chow, and I'm bringing you news at the Boulder High Scene, where a few students have decided to protest about their rights being violated. This is Bridget, Susie, Johnny, and Rodrigo. They'd like to share their thoughts on the subject at hand.
We are being violated of our freedom of speech and religion.
We've decided to speak up because in our classroom we feel that we can't say what we need to say or want to say, and that's a violation of our First Amendment.
I usually feel pressured into being part of the religion I'm not part of, which violates the First Amendment.
As you can see, the subject is at large and it is very serious. Back to you, Diane.
That show was a heartbreaking topic. Now, on to the debate with Sam and Peter. How does?
So, Peter, what do you think about this situation at hand where in the First Amendment where that kid was not allowed to leave class, even though it was against her religion? What's your ideas on this? Was the school in the right, or was it?
Well, as I see it, she could be called the First Amendment and say that she could go out of school to pray, out of class to pray, but then she should maybe find another religious school where that's allowed.
But Peter, not many people have access to those executive schools, or how do you say, very, very top class schools. I don't even know. So what do you think, Peter, about that situation? But also, the school's in the wrong, she might be in the wrong as well, because Congress shall make no law against any religion. So should she have any specific religious things about, any religious rights against other people who are Muslim who are by chance going to school on a religious holiday?
Well, that's a good point, but you can also see this, that school is school, and you can maybe choose to leave the class, maybe you can get special permission, or, maybe that's just not okay, but you could just choose to not pray and do it in free time instead of places where you where if you pray in school, it's kind of maybe showing people to religions they don't believe in, and some people might be offended by that.
But Peter, I kind of think what you're thinking is very contradicting yourself, because you're saying that she should have chosen to pray and she should have joined a special religious group of school, but as I said before, not many people have access to those religious schools, so why in context would she have to follow these rules, even though that Congress said that they are making no law against religious and their own reasons to? So I don't know about you, Peter, but I agree with this little girl, this little student here, that she was in the right for following this, and that her First Amendment should be protected by the school.
Well, Sam, I think you're right.
It would be much easier.
That's one way of seeing it, but you may think that if this girl goes out to pray in classes, that some of the other students might be, why does she get to go out of class?
Whoa, listen here, Don. We're facing the First Amendment, the one that protects even us right now from speaking our minds. The First Amendment is the freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and whatnot. But we have to consider that freedom of religion is a very key part, because no one really considers this freedom of religion per se. That one story about that man the Christian baker that would not bake the cake for the same-sex couple because his religion would not allow it. That because gay marriage in the Christian religion was very outlawed upon. Am I correct on?
Well, same that.
That man was trialed and found guilty for $150,000, in which that could have been avoided by the First Amendment. No?
No.
No?
What?
No.
What man? The man who got married or the man who baked the cake?
The man that baked the cake.
No.
That did not want to bake the cake, actually.
Well, if then you shouldn't have chosen to be in a baker's then, because like if you want to bake cakes and if someone orders you to bake a cake, you shouldn't think about their religion. You should think about baking a cake. But that's off topic now. We're talking about this little girl who works out of class because she wants to pray. Which I don't think is not okay, because like she needs to get her education like everyone else. And if she thinks it's more important to pray in class, is it then really that important?
Peter, I'll have to ask something. Are you religious, sir? Are you religious? No?
Yes, kind of.
Kind of, but what if I told you right now, like, let's say, per se, your wife is pregnant, and I were to say, you cannot go to her labor, you cannot go see when the baby is born, you have to go to the news. I mean, isn't it kind of the same context where it's the same importance as much as it's
well, that doesn't have anything with religion to do.
It
That's
kind of does,
about you
because
being nice.
that's important. That's as much as important to a religious man as your first baby being born, per se, by your wife. And I told you cannot because we're all going to the news and we're all being part of the cast. What about that?
Good point, I must say. But then I would say, screw you and quit. And then I would go see my baby.
I see that now you're pointing out the consequences
Yeah.
that consequences. Yes, I see the consequences that have to follow after that. That man was fired.
Well, if she
And
thinks
it's,
that praying is out of class, is even more important than class, she should start praying instead of going to school. But if she wants to be something, she should start going to school instead of praying.
Alright, well that's all we have for tonight. See you later. This has been Weasel News, brought to you by Mr. King's looking into a case where a woman was searched and seized by a cop who did not have a warrant, nor did he have reasonable cause for searching the woman's car. Later, the woman will be going to the scene with Sam on the spot. There you go. I reported Chowder at the scene of the crime where a woman has been searched and seized of her car against her rights, the Fourth Amendment. This is her. Please share your thoughts.
Hello, what I'm going to do is call the police station and I'm going to report this act, and I have the officer's name and badge number, and I have the date, the time, and where my car is located, and I believe this was an illegal act, so I'm going to follow up with the police department.
Thank you. That's perfect. Back to you, Diane. That was a truly brutal case there, but where the woman was searched and seized, but we hope that the woman finds her justice. Now moving on to the case where a more even enticing story where a woman was occupied by soldiers against her will. Let's see how she goes against them with her Third Amendment laws, Third Amendment rights. 1, 2, 3. I'm reporter Chow here at the scene of the crime, where soldiers are reportedly occupying this woman's house. And she's
It's peacetime. It's absolutely outrageous. I'm going to sue this. I have rights. I can't believe this is happening.
All right, back to you, Diane. Now, because we've been having a lot of amendment cases, like things regarding the first, second, third, and all those other amendments, we've decided to run over them, like a give me a rundown. The First Amendment, I'll just give a little impromptu summarization on all the amendments. The First Amendment it's just basically saying that there will be no law like requiring like a certain religion, like they won't make laws on religion, nor will they prohibit the exercise of freedom of speech, like saying what you can say freely, just in the context and where it's not affecting someone else's rights, and freedom of press, which is keeping me right now, allowing me to do my job here. and the right of the people to peacefully assemble in a petition to the government for a redress of grievances. And the Second Amendment is like a right of a well-armed, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The third is, no soldier shall in the time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in the time of war, but in manner to be prescribed by law. The Fourth Amendment, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizures, and shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and practically describing the place to be searched and persons or things to be seized. Now that's the first four. And the next of them will be the Fifth Amendment. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land of naval forces or in militia when in actual service of time of war or public danger, nor shall any person subject to the same offense twice put in jeopardy of life, limb, nor shall be compelled in any crime case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without its just compensation. The next five will be the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. So the Sixth Amendment is in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury in the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witness against him, to have compulsory processing for obtaining witness in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Peter here would like to read the next few, so Peter, back to you.
The Seventh Amendment is that in suit of common law, where all the value of controversy shall exceed $20, the right to trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by jury shall otherwise re-examine in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. The Eighth Amendment says that excusers' bail shall not be required, nor exclusive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. The Ninth Amendment says that the enumeration of the Constitution and of certain rights shall not be controlled to deny or disparage others retained by people.
And Diana would like to say the 10th Amendment.
The power of none, the green to the U.S. by the Constitution, none processed by into the states are reserved to the states reserved or to the people.
And here
Is the ending
of
Here's
Weasel News, and we would
Brought to you.
all like to wish you a happy evening and
a good night. This is brought to you by Mr. Kingsley.